Carnage and Sam and them to step it up. So I'm looking forward to it. I want the average kill to be at least 15.
I mean, I was going to say, like, he's saying, average kills just below 10 or whatever. Normally, that's a really good day in the office, let's mind you. But it's just the other two teams currently with the big numbers of kills, just a little bit higher than Team Gates.
Hey, certainly, if you guys are popping off first place finishes, the kills aren't as important, but hey, they definitely are going to be for those that aren't getting the first place finishes. On the third place for yesterday, we also had Team Wildcard led by Hot Jukes. Hot Jukes and his squad dropping the most kills in the tournament so far. Through 4 rounds, they're up to 45 kills, 11 and a half almost per game. That is absolutely insane. 1,545 points. So this is the team that many others will be gunning for today, trying to secure that third spot on the finals.
Hot Jukes and Wildcard there with the 45 kills. I'm pretty sure that's helping. And now we also got in fourth place Marciano Gaming. One of the surprises from yesterday, especially towards the end of the game, averaging 6 kills, a total of 24 kills and 1,300 kills. I'm pretty sure they're looking to go ahead and hunt down Wildcard. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they actually go ahead and literally hunt them down in the game to make sure they get off early, and that way they can go ahead and take that third position.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for all of those teams to try and challenge for those top 3 spots, and of course, and at home as well, you can get involved not only on Twitter that we've mentioned before, but you can also download the game in the Galaxy app, brought to you by Galaxy Samsung Note 9, as well as all their other devices, of course. And let's take a look now at Sandhawk with the newest map to come to PUBG Mobile.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain? That is magic.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain? That is magic.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain? That is magic.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain? That is magic.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain? That is magic.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain? That is magic.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain? That is magic.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, gifting substain?
7 Worlds, take it away.
Hey, thank you very much, Kalaris. I'm here with 2MG from Team Just Some Dudes. They finished in 18th place yesterday. How are you feeling about the performance, and are you looking forward to maybe improving things later on today?
I think we did great, but there's definitely room for some improvement.
Sure thing. Well, hey, I wish you guys the absolute best of luck. I'm counting on you guys to drop another 5 or 6 kills. Let's get it done.
Thanks, BB. And I'm actually here with Calibers from Team Taserface. They were able to finish in 17th place with 2 kills. What are you guys looking to do today?
Cause mayhem.
Cause mayhem. Oh, my goodness. I'm looking forward to it. PB, who do you got for me?
Hey there, I've got Fandy from Team Fandy. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling so far in the tournament?
Feeling pretty good. I think today we're going to play a bit more aggressive than we did yesterday. So.
A little more strategy for aggressive today. You going to go grab some cars and try to hunt some people down?
Oh, yeah. That's what Beckwin does.
Beckwin, I expect to see you in the car, my friend. All right, good luck today, guys.
I got Derek's Killers here with me with the captain, my boy, Derek G. You guys were able to get some really good kills. You guys actually will notice that you kept landing on Pochinki and just controlling that song. Is it going to be the same strat for today, or maybe you're going to go ahead and switch it up?
I don't know. I guess you guys are going to have to see, but we are definitely going to bring the excitement today for Derek's Killers, and I'm excited to see if we can get to Dubai, right?
Ooh, I heard somebody in the back saying it's the match. I'm looking forward, Derek. Yeah. Go ahead and do some work. PB, who do you got for me?
Danakins from Hammers Esports is with me here. Danakins, tell us about yesterday. What are you guys feeling about your performance, and then what are you hoping to do today?
So yesterday was a rough start, but as each game came out, and we progressed much more and much more. So today, we're going to wreck some people.
Oh, big words from Danakins. I love it. Love the aggression. Good luck to you today, guys.
I'm here with 4th place, Marciano Gaming, and Marciano, the captain. They were a huge surprise over the end of yesterday. I want to see, are you guys going to go ahead and hunt down that 3rd place?
Yes, we are. We're training really hard. We're going to go for #1 now.
Hey, #1. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people, Hispan people watching you currently on the stream, so best of luck to you, man. Kick some butt for me. PB, who do you got?
I got Lord Chifero here from Chifero Squad. Chifero Squad, what are you guys hoping to do today?
Yeah, man, definitely go more aggressive, go hard or go home.
Go hard or go home. What was your favorite moment from yesterday's gameplay?
Honestly, it was game 2, man. When we flipped over the car, Beowulf came out of nowhere and just wrecked us, man. That showed us that you always got to be ready. Always, for sure.
You got to watch out for that Beowulf guy. Lord Chifero, good luck to you and your squad.
Thanks, BB. I'm over here with Pochinki Bandits. Yesterday, you guys were able to get 7 kills. I believe you guys are currently in 13th place. Tell me, what is this strat looking for like today?
Well, as long as I don't get crossbowed to the face again and we use our secret weapon, I think we'll be good to go.
Hey, I'm looking forward. If you do get crossbow, I'm sorry if I actually get a little bit hyped. PB, who do you got for me?
Thanks, Seven. I got solid FPS here with foul play, and he appears to be a bit under-geared. He's walking into battle naked here. His teammates are looking pretty fly. Level 3 helmet, level 2 helmet. What are you guys expecting? You're currently sitting in 9th place. What's your plan to move up that leaderboard?
Yeah, we're looking for some kills for sure. We only have like 8 across 4 games. That's not too good, so we got to step that up.
You guys had some great position yesterday. Now it's just a matter of putting some kills on the board. I think you guys are in position to move up that leaderboard. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, BB. I'm here with Buck Army from Girthy Dingoes, currently sitting in 20th place. Tell me, what are you guys looking to do today?
Hopefully not suck. I think it's the big thing. Hide a little bit better, and we'll see what happens.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe you guys are going to go ahead and gun down one of those top teams as well, huh? Best of luck to you, Buck Army and Girthy Dingoes. PB, who do you got for me?
I just got ridiculousness over here. I got a man in a corn suit. Let's hear it for this guy. We got Winsanity over here wearing the PUBG Mobile corn suit. Team Winsanity, you guys are looking fly. I cannot lie. What are you feeling about the game today? And you obviously are looking pretty loose.
You know, we had a couple bad games. Got a 2nd place against Gangstars. It's the 2nd time that happened, so we're definitely going after those guys. And you know, I don't want to be corny, but we're going to cook up some heat, so everybody's got to watch their back.
I love it. I love it. Good luck, guys.
Man, now I wish I was wearing that corn suit. Why didn't I get one? I might have to actually steal it here. But I'm actually with Underrated, currently sitting in 10th place, and their captain Trolling. What is this strat going to be looking like today?
We're going to do a little bit better than we did yesterday. We got to come in and live up to our name, Underrated. So we're going to come from the bottom and take the top spot.
Hey, well, there you go. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure you guys can. If you guys get a couple of wins, you can definitely get to that 3rd spot. PB, who do you got for me?
None other than Zen Lee from Zen Gaming. How did you guys pull off, I believe it was a 6th place performance yesterday? What was the strategy?
Our strategy is to just stick with the game plan, which we won't reveal here, but we're going to play safe, take it one game at a time, and hopefully get a chicken dinner today.
Awesome. Best of luck to you guys. I'm sorry I put you on the spot there with a strategy question. You did a good job keeping it tight to the vest. Good luck to Zen Gaming.
Thanks, BB. I'm actually here with G25 Gaming and my boy Crypto. Yesterday we saw you guys actually starting to push a lot of the action on higher up teams. Is it going to be the same strat for today, or what are you looking for to do today?
Of course, we are going to stay aggressive, but you know we have to be disciplined always. And these are my guys right here. We got Quantum, Slazer, and Bullet, and we're looking forward to come out strong today.
Hey, my man, I'm looking forward to it. Please kick some butt for me, all right? PB, who do you got?
We got Metalcore here with Team Hectic. Team Hectic placed in 12th yesterday, still in it. You guys have got a shot to move up today. What's going to be the plan to do so?
Well, we worked really hard, but we didn't work hard enough. We actually got a W during the semifinals, so we're hoping to get a W today.
Hey, if anybody can do it, you guys can. Team Hectic, everyone. Give it up for him.
Thanks, BB. I'm here with my boy Hot Jukes from Wildcard, currently sitting at the top with the team with the most kills. Tell me, what does it feel like to be there?
Most kills in the game. We got it going on here, but I'll tell you right now, it's dinner time. We hungry, and we craving chicken, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, man. Give me some here. Best of luck to you guys. Wild card for you. PB, who do you got?
That Hot Jukes is a character. I've got my man Rolex. He's looking pretty gangster here, man. You looking hard. You going after another W today?
Oh yeah, always. 4 wins.
4 wins, ladies and gentlemen. Those are bold words right there. You guys have got the skills to do it. Best of luck. We'll hopefully see you with that chicken dinner.
Thanks, BB. I'm over here with those guys and that guy, and look at my boy Grimes right here with the cowboy hat. Tell me, man, what is this track going to be looking like for today, especially having fun?
Well, clearly we have the best dance moves here, so we're planning to use those at the end game with the chicken dinner.
Corn stew, who? PB, what do you got for me?
I got none other than Lights Out, represented by Juicy. Juicy, my man, what are you going to change up today to move up that leaderboard?
We're just going to have some fun, frag out, and see what happens.
There you go. Having fun, fragging out. Best of luck to you and Lights Out. You guys have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with GameStars, my boy Angry. Oh, dancing on them as well. They're currently sitting in first place. And tell me, Angry, what is this strat going to be looking like for today?
Well, the strat is just to do the same thing that we do every single day, and that's win the game.
Hey, he wasn't lying yesterday. They were able to get 2 wins. Best of luck to you, my man. Now, back to Calares.
That's right. Thank you very much. And that is all our team's going to be competing here throughout day number 2. But of course, big thank you to Samsung Galaxy Note 9 for joining us along this adventure as well. Let's take a closer look at Samsung Galaxy Note 9.
New Galaxy Note 9 has more power than you need. Like a remote control for a phone. Why would you... Oh, that's why. The new Galaxy Note 9. It's got more power than you need until you need it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to break everything down. It's time to make sure that you guys know at home what's going to be going on as well. We're going to be talking about how these teams are able to accrue points, how they're going to be able to move up those leaderboards as well. So, gentlemen, why don't you talk to me about that? You get points for wins, points for kills.
You saw some teams with a lot of points up on that board, and you can get them by finishing in the top spot there. 500 points awarded for first place, and it does go on down from there. Second place gets 365, third 315. The notable thing about these standings, though, is even those that place in the lower half, 10th all the way through 20th, are going to receive at least...
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
100 points. So again, it's really important that you get some kills, right, Seven?
Definitely, because you will get 15 points per kill. And as we saw, Wildcard, even though they didn't get a win yesterday, just getting a lot of kills and getting consistent placing, it can actually get you to the top 3, and you might end up going to Dubai like they are currently right now. And I want to see what team is going to try to go for those kills. As I told you earlier, somebody wants to break 30 kills per game, and I want to see who it's going to be.
Yeah, that's very important to rack up those kill points. We've seen how influential they can be on those top spots as well, which is very, very important indeed. But let's talk about how the modes are going to be breaking down here throughout the day as well, because we start things off with a first person, then we go all to third person as it goes through the day, right?
So just like yesterday, we had 4 games on deck today. We're going to be playing games 5 through 8, and we also are going to be playing the first game in first-person perspective. First person is basically seeing the game through the eyeballs of the players, so they're looking down the sights of their guns, and third person is a little bit different. You got that camera floating behind you. Tell us what the difference is.
It pretty much feels like if a drone was behind you, and the difference is that you can actually see what's coming from the corner. If you put your face up against the wall, you'll be able to see all the players coming in. It's something that we actually saw yesterday, a lot of people doing, making sure they weren't engaging because they saw the person just exactly doing the exact same thing, just waiting for somebody to make a push. So you will see that difference there. And one of the other differences, and one of the surprises actually from yesterday, is that we saw a lot of action in third person as well, as in first person. So I'm going to see what's going to be, what teams are going to be surviving a little bit better here on the first game, because it is different.
We've even seen, using that third person, we saw it very well used when it came to actually having multiple members flanking around corners.
G25 and Winsanity and Yasnaya yesterday was a perfect example of that. Basically taking turns, moving in and out, using that third person peek very, very brilliantly.
Yeah, very well done. Let's talk now as well about some of these teams that are going to try and kind of upset this meta that we currently have established ourselves in, because there are some teams that aren't in the top 3 that we still think have the opportunity to get into the top 3, right?
Absolutely. I think we have solid FPS and foul play sitting there, getting pretty close to moving up that board. Again, as you mentioned, they did pretty well in positioning themselves and placing themselves, but they've got to get some more frags. They're currently sitting in 9th place, looking to move up. And then we also have Marciano Gaming getting some kills, performing well. I really liked how Marciano Gaming really used that third-party advantage to their, to their advantage. Yesterday, rolling up on many different squads who were fighting. They just roll up in a car and then squad wipe everybody.
And just going based on that, we got Derek Skillers with some consistent finishes yesterday, so I want to go ahead and see if they can pick that up, if they can actually go ahead and continue to do that, because we saw them landing a lot in Pochinki and just being kings of Pochinki at one point, taking on 3 teams. No, they didn't care. They felt comfortable, so I want to see if maybe they can go ahead and actually get a win and push them a little bit more towards the top 3. And just going off of that one, Team G25 is really close by. We saw a lot of great chemistry between them, as we were mentioning earlier, just making sure that if somebody needs to reload, somebody else go ahead and steps in and actually starts shooting for them. So I'm going to go ahead and see what they decide to do today, and if they're actually going to go ahead and push those higher teams like Game Stars and Team Gates.
For me, one of the most curiosity, like the points of curiosity for me today is watching like all of the teams, right? We know who's in the top spots, and we also know where they drop. All of these teams pretty much dropped in the same locations every single game yesterday, with the exception of if there was a really jolted plane path, and it kind of made that a little bit impossible. But these guys have their favorite drop locations. Now it's going to be, are teams going to challenge these guys? Are they going to go after them early? That's what I'm kind of curious to find out.
I think there is a small rule of thumb, or a few rules of thumb that you need to go into day number 1 with. One of them being, probably just give Derek's Killers Pochinki. I don't know. They seem to just dominate that from game to game, and it was different teams that were going at them.
It was, and we actually saw some teams with the crossbow killed. I believe that was in Pochinki, and not just Derek Skillers. We also got Game Stars. They were pretty much like going George Bull. Doesn't matter where the plane lands, they will actually hop onto a car and get there regardless. So I'm looking to see what teams are going to go ahead and challenge that, especially because Game Stars and Lights Out do end up being very close to each other, and Team Gates usually likes to go Novo.
If the plane pass supports it, you'll see them go to Novo. Even if they can get to a car location, they'll grab that car and move on.
Well, let's look at the standings as well, just to get you guys refreshed with where all of these teams stand currently and their potential to go to Dubai. Currently,
move on.
well, let's look at the standings as well, just to get you guys refreshed with where all of these teams stand currently and their potential to go to Dubai. Currently, Gangstars, Team Gates, and Wildcard are the ones that are in those prime positions to fly all the way to Dubai. However, still challenges lay amongst them.
Certainly. We've got Marciano Gaming, Derek Killers, Zen Gamers, and those guys all right there, right around 1,000 or more points. So definitely well within striking distance. If we can just distribute some chicken dinners to some other teams today, I think you're going to see a big shuffle in these standings.
Definitely. We see a team like Wildcard or Marciano Gaming go down early. We can maybe see Team G25, Foul Play, or Underrated starting to push up a little bit more. And one of the teams that I'm actually going to be looking forward to as well today is Lights Out, because they're currently sitting in 14. I want to go ahead and see how they respond on day number 2. I was talking to them a little bit yesterday. They're really hyped. They want to go ahead and do a good showing, especially for the LO fan base, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go ahead and show up to do so.
Certainly. They just got to try to get down, hopefully parachute properly into a drop location and loot up. Last couple of games, they got chased out of their early spot, had to run around, and ended up not working out for them. Drop location and loot up. Last couple of games, they got chased out of their early spot, had to run around, and ended up not working out for them super great.
I definitely got to pull it out. My second rule of thumb from our previous conversation is, if you get down Gangstars just a little bit, finish them off, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time. We saw it in 2 games. People were not able to finish them, and they came out swinging again.
That's right. And they're like cockroaches, are they not? I mean, if you don't finish them out, they're going to keep
coming
coming back.
They still keep going. What's going on?
Well, one of those, I believe they had 2 players down, and then a car just came in and started shooting the people that were actually shooting Gangstars instead of finishing Gangstars. I want to see if they're going to keep on continuing getting so lucky. If they're not, then we might see different places, because we actually saw them getting challenged, and that was the time that they ended up in 5th place. So if somebody challenges them early, is it going to go ahead and throw their flow off? Because it does become pretty much a flow. It's something that they're used to this point.
Right, and of course, out there on the Twitterverse, you can get involved as well with the hashtag PMSC and tell us who you think is going to be not only winning these games, but also who you think is going to be going to Dubai as well.
Ooh.
And that is all important. Ladies, gentlemen around the world, we are ready to get into game number 5 of our weekend today. So let's head over to our commentary team. Pansy and Sims, take it away.
Thank you so much, guys on the desk. Perfect summary of yesterday. We now know the full picture, and we get to kind of paint all the bits in between now. We need to see the ending of this. Who's going to make it to Dubai? The top 3 looks pretty hard fought for. Top 2 looks a little set, but if they get their foot off that gas, Rich, other teams could climb up there. Team Gates, Gangstars, they look good, but that 3rd spot, still up for grabs.
Yeah, there's 2 sides to this coin, right? All these teams that kind of did really, really well yesterday, they've got themselves a little bit of a buffer now, a cushion. Again, nobody wants to have a bad game because this was a best of 8. So one simple game can completely throw you off track. Now, the bigger picture is, all right, these teams that are down, around the 5th, 6th, 7th place, they can have absolutely blinding games. But in order for them to make it up the ladder, the teams at the top, they have to do poorly as well. They have to be brought down a notch, kind of take a peg beneath the leg, so to speak. I'm wondering if we actually ever kind of are going to see these teams being attacked early on. They know where these teams are starting to land now. They've had 4 games to fight it already. Are we going to see where they're going? Will they hot drop in? Will they attack them straight off the bat?
It could be a possibility, but we are in the air. We are in the game. Remember, you guys at home, tell us who you're supporting, who you think's got this in the bag, who's in that top 3. Use the hashtag PMSC on Twitter, and we'll check in with you guys. And already we're hearing the comms coming in from one of the players there, potentially.
Yeah, I think we might have those touched in on comms. Gangstars first ones out of the plane. Honestly, you would expect it. No surprises whatsoever. Opting to go for North Georgia Port time and time again. I think that's the only different one they had was when we had the rough plane path yesterday, when it was more towards the southern end of the map. But again,
they still made it up there in vehicles.
They did. They just rotated like a bad man and still came out on top. So starting off around just left of Severny in the northern region and flying all the way down south.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
We will end over Sosnovka down on Millie Island. The bigger question is, will any teams opt to stay inside the play, maybe get a foothold on there? We might have some early engagements. We did see it yesterday when a team got caught off guard. I believe it was Lights Out that lost a player because the team managed to get there a little bit quicker than them. But again, when you're evenly split like this straight through the map, okay, it's not completely central, but it does start left and end right. Generally speaking, you'll have an open map. Everyone can go where they want. You shouldn't see too many fights, but I tell you what, Millie Base is looking busy.
It certainly does, and this could be interesting to see where the teams go to. If you are looking towards that top 3 and you're wondering who goes well, of course you know where Gangstars are. Keep your eyes on Team Gates, but the ones to look for, the surprise, the kind of, I guess, wild cards, is the likes of Wildcard and down below. So if you want to see Marciano Gaming, they're Team 15. Look for them on the map, you'll find them. And then you have Team 17, which is Derek's Killers, Team 8, which would be Zen Gaming. These are the guys that could really shuffle up that top 3. Right now, we're checking on that looting phase. We're seeing how Gangstars are doing. And we said it before, and the one thing I will say here is they are not alone. There could be pressure coming out. Team 13 there, getting in early. They're the Pachinki Bandits. They got bullied out of Pachinki before, so they could have tried to switch it up. But they've gone, you know, out of the fire into the frying pan, and already an early kill comes in.
Yeah, that's me, Mark, with the quick run over. Nice bit of PM there. It's always nice to see someone getting flat on by a vehicle. He's down, he's dead. He's the first victim, unfortunately, of game number 1. But as you said, Lauren, I mean, Pachinki Bandits, they're not going where the name suggests. They've been pushed out. Unfortunately, finding themselves in North George alongside the Gangsters. Now, if I was that team, you'd have to know by now these boys are going to be here. So you're going to be very, very aware. I mean, if we look towards the top right, when you look at that map, they are spread out. And over here we have Beowulf. He's going to be keeping an eye on them. He can get up high on this, keep a track of where these players are. Again, PUBG Mobile is quite loud when people are walking around you. As we switch to the opposing end of the map, I think someone just got caught there on the back of the vehicle. They are getting tagged up. This is team number 3, so those guys fighting off against the Hammers.
And those guys are currently in 6th position, so they are vying for that top spot. They're looking towards that top 3, so again, they want a very clean start here. And we'll see the teams rocking up, trying to get towards those buildings, and they've beaten them there. They got the vehicles, they should be able to get the loot. A little bit of, I guess, lower-end loot on the other side for Team 3, going to try and work their way forward. But the other team could be potentially getting a lot more loot in the bag. Hammer Esports do have more buildings to work with over here by Ferry Pit.
Yeah, in theory, Hammers do have the upper hand because they are on high ground.
Oh, I just saw Rolex getting into the action early as well.
Is that one individual player going down? I believe that was the Tommy gun. Just comped it for a second in the kill feed, so that's the second player going down. But speaking about this fight in particular, well, oh, actually, that's a lot of people I'm seeing. Team Gates are going off. They've lost a couple of players either side. That's 3 individual players down. One of them's already dead on the side of Team Fandy. This is all kinds of messy over by the crates. This will be Novo, right?
It should be Novo, indeed. It is. So we're going to be seeing Team 18 going at it and looking to see what they can do going forward. Team Fandy, of course, as you highlighted, they're going to be in a little bit of a predicament. Let's see where they're up against as well, because they're fighting against the odds. It seems like they're not on the winning side of this battle, and that's Rolex down there. So they've got a big team to fight up against. If Rolex can get his team back up and ready to fight, then they're in a good spot. That could be some opening kills. But also, if they go down early, this opens up that top 3, Richard. This could be a huge starting battle.
So we have to assess this situation. 2 players from Team Gates are down. One of them's on the back or get on the res. You can see on the player on the hard right. It looks like it's Koto, last man standing here. He eliminates it. That's it. They're gone. They're dead. They're done. Fandy's out. The first team falls victim, and they go out in 20th position.
This is excellent news as well for Team Gates, considering they get a lot of points for those kills. Keep in mind, this is one of the higher points you're going to be seeing as well. So for them, pick up the teammate, get the loot, and carry on. You defended your territory. This is their land. This is where they like to loot. We've seen them towards that military island. It's no surprise that they go down there. And this time, they had to fight for it. And they won it out. So for them, even better. That means they get a good early start. Kills under the bag there. They're going to keep those building for themselves and push themselves further into that unreachable spot.
60 points, Novo to themselves, and more importantly, a clean fight. They didn't lose a single player in that engagement, even though they had 2 going down, which in the long run might be a bit of a problem, because obviously the more downs you have, the faster you'll bleed out in the bigger game. But still, to be able to win that fight completely clean and pick up 60, a squad wipe, and anything else that they actually had, it's happy days for them. The circle, it's not on their side. It will be on the opposing side of Erangel, more towards the north. This is the fight we saw about earlier on. This will be those guys kicking it off, all being well against which team was there? That'll be Hammers.
Yeah, but one of the Hammers was pushed up a little bit further forward, so they're going to get the information and relay it to the rest of the teams. You can see Richie and Co now just adjusting where they're pushing towards. They know where that line is, and they do not want to lose out on players. Already the other team, Hammers, losing out on 1, so for them, it's a bit of a safety maneuver, but they're getting aggressive here. Animosity, we saw this from him before, but gets outdone by the SMGs around the corner from that guy. Good news again for another team towards that top 5, top 6. They've got to be careful, it's not overextend. The rest of the Hammers are in the back lines.
Yeah, Sneaker's in a really good position here. M16 with the 4 times on the back. He can just keep an eye on them and watch them from that barnyard, the top window with the ACOG, but now they're down to 2. They do have armor. They don't really have a massive amount of guns. I mean, Danny's got the old MAC-10 Uzi. Up close and personal, it will do a lot of damage, but with things like this, when you got the shotgun, it's going to be a bit of a long push. Grimes obviously keeping an eye on what's going on. There's no point in overextending now. They picked up 30 points in the kill feed. That's Swift taking out Dragoon there. I saw Scar kill really, really quickly, so we'll try and keep an eye on that one in the left. Win, should I say, excuse me, back onto a member from Hectic, but still here with Richie, just trying to annoy the Hammers and maybe force them into an engagement.
Yeah, this could be good news for these guys and those guys.
It's been a nuisance, right? You kind of get the thought process here, maybe try and tap them from the side and force them out. Then the other team, or his teammates, should I say, from the left-hand side might be able to flush them, but potentially the Hammers, they're down to 50%. They might just get the hell out of here. This is the battle that we saw early in the kill feed.
Yeah, melee-based battle going on over by the ATC, and
Dead.
it looks like it's a cleanup as well. We just caught the end of that action. That's a whole squad wiped out.
I'm seeing 3 players there. I wonder if they've managed to, unfortunately, potentially lose one. But again, squad wipes through. Melee base is theirs. They'll be able to claim all that loot, get all the gear, continue through. They will have to move shortly because the circle, it'll start to force them all the way up north. At the moment, the north is looking rather empty around Severny and those regions. You'd expect it to swing further, but who knows? It might come all the way down. Unfortunately, Winsanity, they're eliminated in 19th place in game number 5.
And they were doing okay for themselves. They weren't exactly a huge team, but they were certainly getting a couple of kills here and there, being towards the late game as well. So they were over in 11th at the start of today. So this is a bit of a blow for them, a bit of a loss to be finishing in this sort of spot. So for them, that's a bit of a hard pill to swallow. So for them, they do need to try and maybe recover in the next couple of games, stay alive a little bit longer. Going for those early fights, it can be risky. It can work out really well, get you those extra points under your belt, push you a little bit further, but also, obviously, you run the risk. And that's what happened. And we're keeping tabs on Gangstars just purely because there was a team pretty close by. It looks like they've kind of kept, I guess, the loot a little bit further away from each other. They haven't overly gone aggressive, but it looks like Team 13 are on the lookout here.
Yeah. I mean, at least we can say it's Hotted still alive, right? It wasn't the first one to die. Feels bad, man.
Don't be mean to Hotted.
I would never. Apartments, again, become the usual place for the Gangstars. No one comes here because they know it's home territory and home turf. Team 13, they're going to have a battle on their hands. I mean, the Gangstars are not one team who will back away from the fight. They obviously know the numbers and they know how to approach situation and they know what's good. Level 3 on the floor. Happy days for that one. Good trade up there. 55% reduction. It's the biggest bit of armor in the game. It's the best bit of armor in the game, right? Because the damage multiplies on the face. It very... lose a ton of health if anybody hits you, regardless of what kind of bullet or ammunition it is. Rotations then for Team Hectic, and yes, indeed, they lost one player down to 75%, but still a trade-off of one player for 4. Points are there, they're all still alive, and they're well and truly in this game. 2 vehicles, nobody at the moment set up on the bridge, so they should be able to easily fly this one through. The question is where do they go, because when we look towards this circle, the southern end of it is where it's all really busy. At the moment, the north is still around shooting range, Severny. Everywhere above Yasnaya, it's completely clean and open. The southern side of this, it all depends where this next circle goes, Lauren. It could be a little bit of a messy battle.
Now, onto the screen, we do see Zen Gamers. They were actually doing quite well for themselves, sitting in 5th at the start of today, very much well within that reaching point of 3rd position, so they could definitely go for that. Nice bit of loot on the ground as well, not too far away if they fancy it. Now, they did get caught out by Gangstars. They were on the receiving end. I think they finished 2nd in one of the games up on the old Potato Hill. So I'm curious if they can maybe get back into that action, push a little further, keep getting those top 3s and getting those kills under their belt as well to boot.
I think the more interesting part of the story, how it unfolds, is when we look towards, the western side of this circle, you've got Gangstars, you've got Wildcard, and then we have Lights Out. Now, Lights Out at the moment, I think are the most, probably... when everyone looking to where they're going to perform, disappointing.
Richie's just fallen out of the car, I think, as well.
It feels bad, man.
Yeah.
So Lights Out have a lot to prove today, and if they want to make it up to that top 3, they absolutely have to play Lights Out, no pun intended, because they are quite far down and definitely not where people expected them to be. They're one of the teams and say, well, this could be, a dead cert, but again, like anything else in PUBG, nothing is certain. Depends where you go, depends who you run into, depends what kind of loot you have.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
Yesterday, on the latter games, they played a more passive game. We didn't see any kills coming out of them. We saw them getting up on the higher placing on the leaderboard, but still, a few rough games has put them in a tricky situation. They have to play amazingly today to be able to qualify for Dubai.
They'd have to play a game we have not seen from them. So that'll be interesting. We will be seeing Team Gates, the team in 2nd position, starting to move away from their original spot. Underrated here on the move, trolling in the little buggy, having to go through things. Not bad terrain to be going over, perfectly fine. We should be able to find a nice bit of positioning soon enough. wherever they feel comfortable. There is still a lot of land up for grabs. There hasn't been too many teams going on very early rotations. So that's going to be very much capable for them. They can find the prime spot. They might have to fight for if they go very central, as a couple of teams now starting to begin their route. So that could be the next thing in mind for them. As you can see, there's the updated map of very central to this. So teams will be vying for the, I guess, prime cuts of meat, if you want to look at the real estate going for it. A couple of teams could have to veer away from this. They can't all go to the same spot here, but we've seen it already. Teams on mobile, they are not afraid for taking a fight here.
Yeah, Underrated's about to run into Team 19, so Taserface and Underrated might be engaging very, very soon. You can see it there, just on the ruins. Underrated are on a rotational side with vehicles, so they might just drive on by. A few pop shots might come their way, but again, ruins is going to be extremely populated, potentially for Derek's Killers also to turn up on one of the invited teams in here. They ended in first position after, second position after game number 1 yesterday, so proving that they can fight.
Oh, look at that logo in the crowd. That's amazing. That's some good fan support. I like that.
He's also got it shaved into the side of his head. It looks amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It looks very, very cool. I saw them tweet it out today. It's pretty cool. So now, finally...
Speaking of them, they are going on the northern swing, so they should be pretty comfortable. They won't get caught on the way out. We are seeing teams moving away from those positions. We said the ruins could be busy, but they don't have to commit yet. This is not a bad idea. If they just want to hold the ground, they might have shown a little bit of presence. The rest of the teams are going to move further forward away from that. So Team Hectic there, peeling away from that original position.
That's 2 teams that have drove by them now. I mean, look how spread out that team is. All individual players just sat in the ruins, kind of bunkered down, hoping nobody sees them. 2 teams they've let go flying by and say, okay, boys, just trigger discipline, hold your point, let them go. We don't have to take this fight. We can kind of keep this for now. 2 crates are in the open. No one's opted to go for them just yet. They might not have been seen, but again, with that circle, it has come down towards the south. There's a lot of teams still alive.
I'm so glad we went to this. This is what I was about to look at, because it's Team 15 and Team 7. It's G25, and it's Marciano Gaming. So this is some of the teams that have been really pushing the top of the scoreboard. So we're already seeing some real vindictive approach to that, straight up confirming the kill, no messing around. That's points in the bag, and that is a big statement made.
Simple as that. As soon as he walks outside the building, the 6 times in the sky just absolutely shredded him. Now G25, they've got a wake-up call. They've been warned. A couple of shots came firing back onto the water players, going down to about 40% HP. Tags him up through the windows. That's 2 down now.
Good flank, though, coming in here as well. This could be nice for Parker. If he can get across this line without being spotted out, that could be really good. Apply pressure from another angle. We know that G25 are not afraid, though. They love aggression, Richard. They will take these fights whenever they see it viable. But is this viable? That's the question here.
I mean, they're going to have to fight at the moment. I think they're on an opposing level. Parker's in such a wild position. If anyone wants to kind of overextend, you wouldn't expect them to, because they've already lost 1 player by doing so.
But there's a counter already happening on the other side as well. They've both done this. It's a mirrored move. One of the other players has done the same thing. So both have the same sort of thoughts in mind, and I like that. It's good strategic play, but now they can maybe consolidate and try and find a way out of here in a smart fashion where you don't lose players.
Marciano are playing absolutely incredible now. I mean, they 4th position. Crypto spots 1, dinks him up, and he'll get away with his life for now. His teammate's there as well, so if he goes around the corner, he'll have to deal with 2. But again, you called it perfectly, Lauren. The mirrored image is there. They'll back off, and that little bit of annoyance, so to speak, has allowed the rest of his teammates to get to him. So they've all crossed the road now. They're kind of out of that danger zone, have been held back and pinned in. But there's still a lot of work to do. They're down to 3 players. And of course, this is yesterday that we saw.
Well.
Oh yeah, the kill feed.
That's actually important. Lights Out were not getting kills during the early game.
They're getting a lot of kills.
Yeah, they are really racking up bodies. That's good to see, good to note. Keep that in the back of your minds. If they're starting to get points on the board, we could have another contender pushing that middle of the table, but they've got a long way to go until they get to that top 3.
And unfortunately, not a lot of time to do it. There's only 4 games, and this is game number 5, day number 2. This is it. When we're all said and done, only 3 teams can be making their way to the World Finals in Dubai. There's a lot on the line for these guys, especially when you look towards some of them that haven't performed and kind of lived up to the standard that we were expecting to. So it's completely open. Number 1 spot, unless Gangstars have an abysmal day, you'd expect them to be there. But again, anything can happen. That's the wonderful thing about PUBG. If it's not your day, unfortunately, it's just not your day. Team 9, Team 14, just through the marshlands or the badlands. On the left-hand side of school, you got Team 4 in there. You got Team 6, Team 8, just on the opposing side. That's Zen Gamers. They're kind of going to hold the backside of Rozhok, but look at Gangstars. They're just trying to get a foothold here where there's a team approaching them, actually. There's a team going right next to them, and they're engaging.
Hectic.
That's Angry. Team captain takes down 2 from Hectic. That might be 3. That's them all dead, potentially.
Swift and Metal got to feel the rather nasty end of the gun, and Beowulf is going to find Josh P as well. This looks like they might have just completely squad wiped them. That's a really nice hold coming out from Gangstars. Not surprising. A little bit of ranged fight, but look who's creeping up in the back lines. Team 3's not far away from this. Those guys could potentially third party. Gangstars are under fire, but you've got to look towards Team 3 as well and see what position they're working with. Would they dare to push this? There's a lot of teams on this slight western side of the circle, so this could get really interesting. Gangstars hit the deck, get the heals, and maybe just slow it down here.
I think Hectic's gone. Yes, they have. It's confirmed there. As soon as I say that, just a little window pops up. They only got 3 kills out of it, but still, that's 45 points in the bag. We just saw from Team Gates on the opposing side, the 8 times in the Mini. The Mini is an absolute monster of a weapon. Angry will knock out the vehicle in front of him, so at least no explosion will be able to take him out, and he can collect his loot. And his little reward from the body box there. Beowulf still trying to answer back it, yeah.
I like this. They've spotted out those guys who are maybe potentially creeping up. They'd have to cross the road, which would be very deadly. Obviously, being in first-person perspective, there's a little leeway on that, but I like the awareness. And something we're very aware of now with Gangstars is they will have smokes for days. So the entirety of the top floor of this pluming up. So they're perfectly well set. They've got the cars all in safety. If you're wondering why they do that as well, if maybe you don't watch too much competitive PUBG on mobile or not, it's to keep the tires safe so you have that clean vehicle to make you move on the next circle rotations. It's very smart play. I remember speaking to the Gangstars and they were saying, yeah, we watched some of the PC teams, how they strategize. We take it all in. I like that approach. Very, very theoretical from them as well.
It's all about utility, right? Vehicles, armor, smoke grenades, whatever you can use.
They've read the circle well.
Comes in, and she is homing around between Rozhok, School, and just on the backside of Pachinki. You've got Ruins in there as well. So, smack bang center. Let's have a look at the teams we have. We have Team Gates. I think there was potentially Team... it can't have been Hectic because they go down. It might have been G25.
You've got those guys in there.
That's it, those guys, because you've still got them over by Yasnaya. That fight's still...
squad not far off, and Taserface are quite close by him.
So many people. 16 teams for this circle. There's not a lot of room whatsoever. I mean, you've got a team in Roz. No one's over by School, so that might be open territory if they want to take that kind of area. The backside of Pachinki, we do have Lights Out. They've gone for a slightly different approach. They've come down and then gone, like, no vehicles, I don't believe. They've actually swung this in on foot.
So let's try and check in with the teams who are all in that kind of pushing to that third position if we can. Let's have a look at Wildcard, for example. If they're still kicking around, Team 5, where are they at? Because they're the ones that could have done something pretty deadly here, but I don't see them anywhere good right now. So again, they're still pretty far away from the circle. They're in third position. The teams around them are starting to get kills, and I'm seeing J7 just got picked up by the zone, so he's just gone down without a fight potentially. So that could be problematic. They now need to work their way in. If you look at Team 5, which is Wildcard, they'll be coming out of the 4 square buildings. It's a very hot location. If you wanted to catch someone rotating away from Northern Georgia Pole, potentially they were trying to get Gangstars. Did not happen. On board with Team Gates, everyone loves these guys. Everyone likes what they've been doing so far. Again, another team, top 3 position. Couple of kills already, looking good, good spot. Could get pressure from the others around them, but they're holding firm for now. And look at this position now down by School. That's very hectic.
Just a matter of seeing where these fights unfold, because at the moment we've got them on all fronts. Potentially for Wildcard, they're going to go for a long rotation. We've just seen them in the back lines pick up a vehicle, so they're going to be coming down around the ruin side. That's actually where they entered initially. Team 9 just going to come across, maybe Lights Out here. Yep, they've seen one player. There's 2 in there. Grenade goes down. Sees the corn boy, but unfortunately just clips the wall. He's too far back. He pulled that down just a little bit, trolling on the opposing side. So good amount of ARs here. DP for boot as well. 3 times on the back of it. And
it's
at the moment,
nice split.
It's a stalemate, though.
But I like this split. 2-2 in either building, so you can still get revives, but one nade will not just take your entire squad out. You can see Juicy looking for that. That would be a hell of a throw. G25 on the kill feed. Not surprising. Those guys like aggression. They will get in your face, so not too surprised seeing them go at it.
Has to be careful, because if he goes for that grenade, the long one, if he takes it from the right-hand side, he'll get seen by the AKM. Marciano again. Bonio goes down. Bullet takes out Shafira. Bond also falling down from Marciano. Crypto onto low.
Blackjar, what are you doing? I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, James, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
Loves bullet again. He now goes back on the offensive.
Bullet's
Excuse me.
been
He's been
killed.
confirmed and finished. Yeah, that was one knock and then finished with the Tommy. Slazer finds his teammate as well. Potentially, that might be a squad wipe coming out from G25. Look at all these bodies.
It looks like
that's an insta.
I think they've done this one, so that's a big pickup. Again, no one's surprised at G25 picking up these kills. We know that, but how much are they going to have towards those later game circles? Ooh, Skrilla going on a wide peek around the back. Risky maneuver, trying to maybe find an angle, but gets kind of warded away. Takes a couple of bullets, does not want to outstay his welcome. But where are G25 sitting? They're actually still pretty far down. They're in 8th spot, but they have got such a high kill count in comparison to other teams around them. 17 kills to their name from yesterday's games. The one above them, 11. The one below, 8. So again, they're really an aggressive team, but they need those finishing positions.
The only issue here for Lights
Wait,
Out
did one Team Gates just get picked up then?
Didn't quite catch it. Maybe. Talking about this one, though, when we look towards the side, Juicy, all right, he's got the M4, but some of his teammates are actually still running around with, like, umps and SMGs and so on and so forth. On the opposing side, they're underrated. They're rocking quite a few ARs. Circle comes in now. This is an interesting one because there's a lot of people, a hell of a lot of people for this circle. They're on the outside, on the extremities of the circle. Team 11 has to come down. They can get a nice little route. They could run the blue if they really wanted to. Come through school, come through apartments, maybe coming to the southern end. But Team 15, that's Marciano. They're still lurking on the bottom.
Skrilla just got picked up. This could be go time now for the other side. They know they've got one knock. It might be time to push. Juicy pre-firing into the smoke, making sure no one can come through it. But it's not the front side you got to be worried about right now. The other team is wrapping on the outskirts. Underrated, trying to find a way in. Trolling, can you do it? Spots down one, sprays him wildly, but he needs that connection. He's still alive. He knocks one. Where's his teammates?
His teammates are falling down behind him, unfortunately. 2 go down. Now there's 2 in the opposing side. That's not a full wipe just yet.
Oh, but look who's just turned up. Gangstars are here. They've heard the fight. They might smell blood in the water, and they might want to get in on this battle. We know they love a bit of this.
In fact, while that was going on, 2 of them split from the opposing one. So now, all of a sudden, they run in there around the backside. They did that in a 2-2 scenario. The 2 that tried to escape through the back, they were murdered on arrival. So that's a complete squad wipe inside there. But now, out of the fire, into the frying pan. Beowulf literally just looking at that doorway, hoping anybody wants to step out. And what did you say about smokes, Lauren? Look at this. They are completely loaded with. They've just lined them all up. Hunkered down. They've got themselves a nice bit of a defilade. Smash bang in the middle here. There's players on both sides, but they've got the scopes and weaponry to deal with it.
Got to be worried about Wildcard Gaming, though, as well. These guys are in a bit of a predicament. I've just seen Hot Juice get, I think, knocked there. These guys are trying to hold on towards that top 3 spot, and they're being pressured. They have Team 7 not far away. That's Team G25. We know they're going to push them. This could be a huge battle if they do decide to push on that and make some aggressive maneuvers. But right now, you are seeing G-Bait trolling, all these guys trying to ward off Gangstars. But if Gangstars smell there's a bit of weakness, feel there's weakness, they're going to push on it. And again, this is really deadly. There's not much cover here. It's a lot of knowing the terrain. It looks like Carnage and Co are getting the job done, but let's take a second of respite to see how Gangstars are dealing with these opponents just across the way from them.
Those guys. That's where they were fighting, I think. I think they're on that hill. People shooting right now. That's not. So they're
his level 3 helmet off in the house.
They're behind us, kind of helping.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna peek any.
Right side house, top right window. It took his level 3 helmet off.
We're not gonna get any kills off this, and we're just gonna lose armor.
Yeah. There's a car moving. TG Carnage.
They're getting hits.
House is one.
Where are they rotating to?
Now, you can hear, I love the approach, the mentality from these guys, understanding that we're not going to get confirmed kills. There's no point in wasting our armor on this, so play quite safe. The teams who don't have that luxury are the ones slightly further towards the south from them. You could see that Gangstars could potentially get knocked at some point, but they should be able to get revives. They've got a really nice area here. New Circle comes in as well. They're just on the extremity of it. They can still play safely off the back. They need to stay awares, but I still want to see what's happening with Team 5 if we can. Let's swing on over towards Wildcard potentially, because I've seen them in a bit of a predicament. There we do. We do see one of the Gangstars do get knocked, and that's what I mean. They could get knocked if they overpeak. They could get punished, but they can crawl back down and they can find safety. That should be no bother for them. They don't need to overpeak this.
Look at how many bodies just try and get in front of him just to make sure he's safe and secure. 8 times. Doesn't quite connect. Look at all these players running outside of the blue, though. This isn't good. That's Team 20 and Team 13 and 19 all on that western side. Meanwhile, those guys are just sat really only just ahead of them. They're not in the white just yet, but this is an easy bunch of kills from all these players that are going to be coming out of the blue. They're going to be so damn weak.
Those guys,
they could murder a lot of people. They could really go and clean up duty.
They really could, and that's what they need. Those guys could do with some points behind them as well. That could be great news for them. And this is the Walking Wounded trying to just crawl their way forward into safety. And you can see Danky spotting out one of them. That's going to be a nice clean pickup. That's points in the bag.
And there's still more to be had. I can hear them outside the zone. DP just waiting for now. Everyone holding the point. They know where the players are going to be coming from. And again, knowing the terrain is super, super critical here. Looking straight down the edge of the blue to see if anyone wants to go for a slow wander. Teammate, you can see all the way down south. That'll be Zen Gamers. They're going for the rotation, but there's 2 teams just ahead of them. But as you say, Lauren, Team 5 at the moment, Wildcard.
Yep.
They have the most kills so far after 4 games. They are fragging out. They are center circle. But how do they deal with the onslaught of teams that are going to be flooding towards them?
They've got teams to their left and to their right. This is a very scary predicament. You can see Richie and Co just playing the outskirts as long as they can. Maybe they'll have to take the vehicle in the end and make a mad dash for it. That's going to be their reality, and it's going to be a tough one to deal with. One of the Pachinki Bandits is not far away either, but here we go. This could be the fun one. Let's see how they handle this. This is Team 4, so Team Gates, again towards the northern side. The circle is moving in, so everyone's being forced further forward. But between Team 12, Team 5, and Team 7, there's a lot of moves that could happen in the very center of this. It's a very, you know, it's a barrel that could explode any second. If one goes, you can see it will come down, but Rolex is up for the challenge, apparently.
That guy finds Mac Daddy. That's a scare in the kill feed. They've already lost one in form of Samuel. They're down to 75%. You can see bleeding out pretty fast. That's going to be a second knock for sure, if not more. Still getting tanked up, though. You can see on the left-hand side, that's a lot of health being removed. Another player falls as well. Now it's getting messy. Beowulf's also getting tanked. Zute gets caught off guard, but the smokes again utilize it to the maximum. This will literally just keep them living by a lifeline. They are on the edge of the circle. In fact, with that next update, the next update is awful for teams in the northern ridges. But I tell you who it's bloody good for. It's good for Wildcard. They're in the center.
Yep, they're in a great spot. If they can just try and keep their calm, they're in a really nice position. We are seeing a bit of a battle continuing. Very hard to get those confirmed kills as they are in compounds, so there is hard cover to try and stay behind. But Gangstars, and if you're looking at Team Gates as well in the north, they've got a long way to go, and they could potentially try and go across each other, and they could have some real issues working their way in. But you can see them. They've got to be calling this out. Team Gates have got to be communicating, okay, there's at least one team here, one team here. They're going to be making these notes in their mind mentally and preparing themselves. They have to go and run the gauntlet soon.
Our number 1 and number 2 team here, when we look towards Gates and Gangstars, they have the hardest road towards the edge of this circle.
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams potentially already sat inside the circle just waiting, grabbing a house, grabbing a hill, grabbing anything that they can to give them some sort of line of defense against the onslaught of bullets they're about to endure. So many teams are going to push in. One gets copped off guard in the level 3 building. He'll be able to at least back off for now. Tags come through. Trolling goes down. This is what you said, Lauren. This is on the edge of a knife.
It's go time. Gangstars are going to have to work their way, and they're going to make the risk first. Hot Duke still alive and kicking, though. As said, once this circle collapses and hits, everything is up in the air. Everything is all for grabs. You can see Gangstars making a mad dash for it. They're just risking it. This is incredibly risky. They have to be prepared for a fight now. They've gone full center circle. Look at this. Every window, every angle. Beowulf's gone down. This is huge.
Only about 2% health on the opposing side. He gets the knock at least on the coming back, but 2 of them have gone down. Make that 3. Zute is the last man standing here. Keep an eye on the kill feed. Let's see if he goes down. Angry's dead. He's confirmed he's gone. Toulouse also gets the knock. Carnage.
Here comes the blue.
Here comes the blue. This will just push them all together even further. This is complete madness.
It is. Team Gates are holding alive, but Hot Jukes is lighting up this kill feed. He looked confident at the start of the day, and I do not blame him. Zute looks like your last man standing here, if I'm not mistaken. That is heavy losses coming through, and now with 7 teams remaining and 16 players, these guys are going absolutely wild. Beowulf confirmed down. This looks huge right now. Alchemy trying to find his next potential victim with that DP.
Cotter also gets put in the ground. Claire, he's gone. DP onto him.
G25.
Night Owl, that's the
G25, they're moving in. G25 are pushing in towards Hot Jukes and the rest of Wildcard Gaming, and they're doing the job. This is huge from Wildcard. They've just been taken down. Wait, no, Outsider's still alive. He's trying to hold on to this one. I think it's all on him right now.
Literally, that's it. And Zute is just sitting here while the rest of everyone else around him is dying. He's just working his team all the way up the leaderboard. Outsider's down, so is that
That could be them done.
Gone?
That could be it. I think G25 might have just wiped them. They might have held on long enough. I want to double check. I want to confirm that's correct because that's a big pickup. Those two have been fighting out for so long as well. What a way to end that story between them. But there's still 5 teams in this. That new circle, it's the eastern side. Team 9, that's underrated, suddenly become the power players. They've got it all. G-Bay sitting real good. Everyone in a really nice spot. And look at that position.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
Position. It's got a beautiful hillside on it as well. All the other players have to, again, pick themselves up and run into this situation. They're not in the safety yet. They're not in that new circle. The cover that we're looking at is no longer safe. All of these teams on your screen are going to have to pick themselves up and run across the open field towards these guys on the other side.
Trolling did say, you know, coming into this, we're going to live up to his name, which is underrated. And honestly, with this game number 1, they might just do that. They've got 4 players alive. They're also inside the circle. Everyone else has to run to them. All the smokes are going up. But really, after that, where can you hide? It's an open field. This is going to be an absolute disaster.
Marciano Gaming still have a lot of numbers in this one. Rolex starts to make the move. He's your last man standing. Zute in the same position. A lot of the big teams now making the move. The smokes go up, but G-Bay's waiting on the other side. M4 in hand. Alchemy prepares himself. They're all going to make the mad dash. Who's going to survive? It looks like Zute goes down. It's 3 teams remaining.
Everything is just going off. Alchemy drops down. You can see on the opposing side.
2 teams.
That's literally it. M4 in hand. ACOG spray down comes through, just trying to find him through the smoke. The rest of his team's forced to move up. They have to help him out here. It's a 4 versus 3 scenario. This should be theirs. They have the numbers advantage, and they know exactly where they are. They can just box them in. They can come in for a complete pincer.
They could do. G-Bay wants to do exactly that. Going to try and make the play around the side. But Marciano Gaming still holding the line, but not well enough. It's G-Bay to close it down. And what a performance from Underrated. Big words at the start of the day. And they've just turned the hell up. That is what I want to be seeing from these teams.
11 kills in the bag. They said they were going to do well, and do well they did.
Wow.
Fantastic play at the end to keep 4 alive all the way until this very last circle. It's such an amazing performance. G25, we saw them in the early engagement. They lost one over in that Yaz-Naya conflict, but still to be able to bag themselves 3rd place, I mean...
Look at this aggression, Rich. Look at that.
That's what you want to see.
Absolutely, not letting the other team even have a chance to try and come back into it. That's the action I signed up for. This is what it means by getting to that final day, that Sunday, where everything has to happen, everyone has to play out their minds, and we're seeing it now. This is what PUBG is all about.
100%. We want to see it. We want to see people. If there's a position that you need to take and you have to kill somebody to do it, there's no point in just sitting back because the blue is just going to force these engagements and leave you in a bad position. We saw it on that western bank. There were 3 teams just trying to survive through the blue. I mean, as soon as you run out there with, what, less than 50% HP, there's just a team waiting for you, it's an easy death.
Now, I want to look at towards Marciano Gaming as well going forward because they just picked up a big position. But let's take a look back at that game. Easy to get caught up in that final action. Let's look at it from the start here.
We'll count this one down and show you how teams made it up the board. We'll try and give you from the different aspects that we may not necessarily have seen on screen, but across the map, it was just such a fantastic game. I mean, even over on this side where we saw the battle at Ferry Pier, just being very aware. A little bit unfortunate for Hammers. They kind of had the high ground, but again, the aggression just came out. Now that, you got to remember how long ago this kill actually was, and they still made it with 3 players all the way to the end. That's
the great thing to me is that those two are battling for such a long time. I love this play pushing in aggressively. You saw that 2-2 split coming through in the back lines. Gangstars rolling up, preparing themselves. This was such a great game. I think the circles played to it so well.
And you have to remember for Underrated, they did push that barnyard. They eliminated that team. If they hadn't have done that, they might have been on the back foot, and they actually might have fallen victim to Gangsters at the end.
Potentially. I mean, we've got a brand new top 3 right now, and I'm so happy to be seeing that. I can't wait to see what G25 now do, because they've been given a top 3 spot with kills to boot. So suddenly they're a contender again. We've seen a real shuffle here that could definitely open up another top 3 to come out, and that's what I'm looking at going forward.
It's going to be incredible. I mean, again, we did say that second to third could be anybody's. You know, what happens? You have to have a good game. Some people at the top have to have a bad game. But I'll tell you what, the people around that middle area, they just came out to play.
They really have. This is what you can expect from, Championship Sunday, essentially, is everyone is turning up. Everyone's bringing their A game. And I can imagine the desk is so ready to break this down. They've got to have so much to say. So, guys, I'm not going to keep it away from them because I know they want to get into that. Head over there and let's hear what they have to say on this one.
Yeah, Lauren, that's right. Let us have some fun as well. But underrated in the end. That really was their game for a lot of that. We got to watch some awesome fights. We got to watch some awesome decision-making, and we got to see them get the chicken dinner in the end.
Really did. Underrated played that pretty much flawlessly from start to finish, and also got blessed by the zone there at the end. They had that fight with Lights Out that they very skillfully took advantage of that knock. Took advantage, pushed in, got the wipe, and then fell back to the compound, getting them out of harm's way. Gangstars was looking at them, but they took that compound, and it ended up getting the circle, and really, really nicely done to them.
Yeah, the positioning they were playing with, and G-Bay being able to go ahead and get some kills there, especially the winning kill at the end. Great plays by G-Bay. And another team I want to go ahead and talk about is Marciano Gaming. They came in hot as well. Second place. They might actually even pass Wildcard, but Wildcard did get a bunch of kills, though. So it was going to come down to pretty much the kills and the placing. But props to Marciano Gaming, and huge props as well for Underrated. They pretty much had full control of that whole game.
One of the things that was kind of weird with this this placement, Marciano did exactly what they needed to do, right? They were sitting in 4th place. They came out, got that 2nd place finish, nearly got the chicken dinner, but really well played to them. The problem is the teams in front of them, Wildcard, Team Gates, Beowulf, and the Gangstars, they were all still alive right at the end of that game, all of them securing top 5 or 6 finishes there, depending on who got knocked. We'll have to see the standings here momentarily. But yeah, I don't think they're going to gain too much ground because all of those teams were there. They got kills, but we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out in the standings.
It's a really good job as well for Gangstars that they kind of have smokes as a focus, because that position north of Warehouse where they kind of eventually were entrenched, they were there for a long time, and they really needed a lot of smokes to kind of hold on to that position. They didn't have much cover from other angles.
Definitely. And one of those things that I noticed is as soon as they saw even a player from a certain angle, maybe south, north, or east, or west, they threw automatically a smoke that way. Just so they didn't have to worry about it. They didn't have to maybe worry about getting third-party as match. And, I mean, they did have the ridges to their advantage as well. As we saw, I think it was Everett Fury just getting super lucky. He was about to get finished, and somebody was able to just go ahead and pick him up because he was able to just crawl right under the ridge.
The teams that had Gangstars knocked, I mean, there were so many different times where you thought they were going to get a finish, and then one of them just missed the finish, missed the shots. We're like, and then the other guy, they had another knock, and then they smoked themselves off when they were wide out in the open. I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. But that being said, going back to Underrated, I mean, even all the way back to the beginning of the game, you had the plane path on one side of the map. They dropped and went all the way to the other, taking over Lipovka. They hit Mansion, I believe, and Shelter.
Prison and Shelter.
Yeah, okay, so Prison and Shelter. And so they had kind of a split looting session. They looted up, came in with 4 cars, and really kind of utilized that to the end. They had really good splits. You saw the 2 in one building, 2 in the other versus Lights Out. Great angles by them the whole time. So UR just really kind of played that game flawlessly.
Yeah, and pretty much that fight with Lights Out led the whole winning. I think it actually led them to the win because that was a huge fight. And Juicy, actually, it seemed that Juicy helped them out because he threw a smoke. I'm thinking that we're going to go ahead and push, but as soon as he threw the smoke, one of his teammates went down, and that's when Underrated saw some blood in the water, and they decided to just go ahead and push and make sure they get the finishes. And what they didn't notice is that they were actually pushing from the sides and up behind them, and that caught them by a huge surprise. I don't think they were expecting that whatsoever.
Absolutely. I mean, they had a position that they thought was safe. It was not. UR took full advantage. We were talking here at the desk during that engagement that whoever won that fight, they really needed to take advantage of that situation now because the zone was there. Whoever took control of that compound was going to have a really, really nice time because everyone else is going to be coming to them and trying to crash. And you saw Gangstars get stopped in the field. Team Gates got stopped in the field. Really nice job from Underrated there. Absolutely. You saw Skrilla making some peaks with the UMP and maybe not super purposeful there. The smokes might have been good had they used them purposefully and actually attacked one of those compounds. They would have had a 4v2 in one of those houses. So unfortunately, a little bit of a misplay there, and it led to their demise.
As you mentioned, it's one of those things that I kind of wish they would have pushed a little bit earlier. Especially as soon as they threw the smokes, just start pushing, because if not, as soon as they threw the smokes, somebody got knocked down, and that's when you're in a huge disadvantage.
And of course, you can tell us all your opinions over on Twitter as well with the hashtag PMSC. So join us for that and all the conversations that are going on. In my mind, Underrated had one of the most perfect games we've seen from them so far in the whole tournament, not only from the drops, but also from their rotations in the buildings that they were in, but then also to the finish as well. A little bit fortunate when it came to those circles playing in their favor, but again, the perfect game coming out from our winners. Let's head over to the interview to hear all from them.
Hi, I'm here with Trollin, and you are Underrated. You guys absolutely killed it that round. Tell us about the drop. It seemed to be a nice little split. Where were you looting? What was the plan there?
We do a split loot. We go 2 Lipovka, 1 prison, 1 shelter, but we changed it up a little bit depending on if the point of interest is around us and stuff like that. So we make sure we get plenty of loot, but spread it out amongst us, because if you go to any one of those places by your, as a full squad, there's not enough stuff. So it works good to split us up.
Excellent point there. We were watching you from the very beginning, noticed the split. We thought, wow, really nice job. You got lucky with not having anybody nearby, so you pretty much had free run to get in there, and then you guys got that compound, knocked out Lights Out, which is a really, really aggressive.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
And nice push. As soon as you got that knock, were you thinking, let's go, let's get out the window?
Oh, I told them when we knew they were back, we knew somebody was back there. I told them the first knock we get, everybody bail out. We're rushing it from both sides, and then Gangstars came up behind us at the same time of us finishing them off. So it was a tense moment for us, not knowing if GS was going to push us. So.
Was a really, really nice fight. Well done. You guys absolutely owned it there at the end. Congratulations. That is your Game 5 winners, guys. Underrated.
Absolutely. Some flawless execution coming out from Underrated there, given the circumstances. Really like it. And especially like the fact that they brought up that point of interest, because it does have the opportunity to spawn between mansion and prison, so you can even use that in that split loot if you want it. Thank you very much for now, guys, as we're going to go to a short break. A big shout out once again to our sponsor, Samsung Galaxy Note 9. And we're going to go to that break. When we return, we're going to have game number 6 here for you for the Star Challenge North America. Don't go anywhere.
Galaxy Note 9 has more power than you need. Like a remote control for a phone. Why would you... Oh, that's why. The new Galaxy Note 9. It's got more power than you need until you need it.
Got into PUBG Mobile because I was looking for something that I could play that would be quick, easy, that I could just pick up and be on the go. I've done a lot of BR games on the phone, but PUBG Mobile has just been the best one I've done. It runs great, it's been the smoothest, and I've played a lot of them.
I love it because I can play it anywhere I want to, and then a lot of other people can play it with me. So you kind of get that couch feeling with it as well, where you can just sit with your buds and play it on the couch on all your different mobile devices.
And the mobile version is extremely polished, awesome to play, and whenever I touched the game first, I was in love with it.
Honestly, it was just, it drew me in right away, and the fact that I was able to play with some of my fans as well as my friends and just build a community from it was pretty awesome.
It's nice to keep everything in my pocket instead of having to bring a big gaming PC and everything with me.
Honestly, just the whole free aspect of it and just super accessible, and just the community behind it's super awesome as well. So it just felt like the perfect storm of stuff.
I love just, I don't know, the competitive aspect of it. I played on PC for a while,
And this is by far the best mobile game I've ever played.
It was almost a struggle finding a good shooter that could run very well on a phone. I mean, that's a challenge that doesn't drain your battery.
I really enjoy it because it's something that I can play with a lot of people who don't have a PC or a console, and most of us have phones. So it was something that I could enjoy with other friends as well.
I got into streaming because I wanted to do charities. And now it's been since 2011 we've been able to raise like $450,000 for all sorts of charities. You may like do these walkathons and stuff. Well, why not gameathons? Like you just sit there in front of a video, like in front of your monitor, play a video game, have fun, and people donate money for a good cause. Proving to my parents that I can give back by playing video games.
Actually, no other game that I've played has had a community that has accepted a new streamer as well as the PUBG Mobile community has accepted me.
The thing that I like the most about my community is they've always been like a really tight-knit family.
So getting into PUBG Mobile was great because it gave me a chance to, you know, grow within the first-person community shooter and just be able to play multiplayer with them was a really great thing.
My community is very supportive.
Probably the most important thing about my community and what I love the most would be just how friendly everyone is with each other.
It's evolved into a family. We all understand each other. We don't have to explain why we like games. We all just get it.
They're always there. It is like my family.
So there's certain people that I've met 10 years ago that they're still fans, and that's been fantastic. To have a decade relationship with someone over the internet that they've just been following you, that's been really cool.
Future of the game. Whew.
I'm looking forward to more tournaments like this. I think this is one of the best things that you could do for a game.
It's crazy, and I think like people are really going to start to see like the mobile scene evolve a lot, and it's been pretty cool to witness so far.
Just the sheer volume of people coming together to play a mobile game is amazing.
You know, I mean, esports is huge, and I feel like they really have a good space in that right now, so I'm excited to see the future of that.
I'm looking forward to there hopefully being more like female skins and stuff. You know, they have a female audience. Take advantage. We like shopping.
I'd love for them to keep coming up with updates, fun game modes.
I love skins in games. I just want to see more of that. Different kind of collabs. They just recently had this big collab they just announced.
So to see Bape come in and like start working with PUBG Mobile, I think that's really exciting, and I'm hoping to see some more stuff like from them or possibly other clothing brands in the future.
And I actually started to gain viewers during this experience because they're like, you're playing on your phone and streaming, so they didn't understand.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how the community develops.
I just want to see it keep sort of growing and improving.
I want to see what they do if they can keep pushing the limits of it. That's something that blows my mind, that this is on a handheld device.
The North America Star Challenge here as we are into round number 6 here in just a few moments time. However, round 5 was fiery indeed with that little finish over towards what all was going on, and Underrated was able to take the victory. Joining me as always, I do have Mr. Powerbang and I have 7 Worlds Gaming. Guys, that was quite the round, and again, from my mind, Underrated, considering the circles they were given, they played a perfect game.
It was an exceptional game from Underrated, as we talked about in their interview. They purposely dropped with a great split, looted up, making sure not to oversaturate the area with too many bodies, making sure that everybody had adequate loot moving out. They got to the zone, rotated beautifully, won a key fight, established position, and they were able to go ahead and win the game.
Push at the right times, make sure they were moving at the right times as well. Another team I want to go ahead and mention is G25 Gaming. During the break, they actually told me that they lost 2 of their players earlier in the game, and they were able to wipe out Wildcard with just 2 players. So I'm looking to see what they can actually do if they have 4 players towards the end of the game. G25 Gaming looking pretty strong here on day number 2.
Definitely one of the stronger underdogs, I think, coming into the tournament. We saw, kind of glimmers of hope from them in the qualifying rounds, of course, but today seems like they have come to play.
We keep seeing great glimmers of hope from G25. Sure. They've got great gun skills, and they love to fight, and we just got to see that placement from them. I want to see him get that chicken dinner at some point today.
Yeah. That, and also with Marciano Gaming, they're so close. I know everybody's currently watching. Some people really want Marciano Gaming to win, and they were there. They were like just within reaching distance. So I'm pretty sure more than likely this time they might go ahead and play it a little bit more safe, so they can go ahead and secure that chicken dinner and maybe get a little bit more kills, because I believe they were able to get, if I'm not mistaken, 5 kills. And look at that. Oh my God, hit him with a dab. There you go.
It wasn't even a dab, it was a double dab at that point.
That Marciano, that guy's cool as heck, man. He's over there celebrating with his squad. They were pretty happy to get that second place finish. You know they're not settling for second, though, this next game. They're going to be heading for that chicken dinner.
That's correct. We did see some contesting at the beginning of that game as well, though, is something that is interesting to note coming into day 2, because everyone gets an opportunity, of course, when they go home to actually look at the VODs and see exactly what's been going down, where people have been dropping. We saw contesting in North George. Pachinki Bandits, I think, were up there.
That's
against,
right. Yes.
You know, a very powerful foe in there as well.
I thought that was kind of interesting, the North George potential conflict there, and it never happened. The Gangstars stayed to the west of North George, looted up, grabbed their vehicles, and then just had it off. The Pachinki Bandits were actually there well into the next 2 zones, actually out in the blue zone, still looting, taking the east side of North George. So really interesting from them. Another thing that I saw with regards to favorite locations was, again, nobody contested Pachinki, where Darish Killers continued to loot up, establishing control there. But they did get caught early. Lights Out came in and actually squad wiped them very early on. So Darish Killers, while they did establish position in Pachinki, they still made an early exit.
Yeah, and it seems one of those trends too, right? Now we've seen Darish Killers be able to just fully control and become kings of Pachinki. But once they actually go ahead and start moving out, we're seeing some issues there. So I'm pretty sure they're trying to gather their flow, and it might have been something that we might have not seen. Maybe it wasn't out of their hand. Maybe they were fighting somebody and got third party by another team. But more than likely, I'm pretty sure they're going to go ahead and continue landing Pachinki. And as we mentioned, we did see Gainstars challenge a little bit there. But it also seems like Pachinki Bandits were just waiting for a very long time. They didn't actually notice that Gainstars kind of just sneaked out up north.
That's right, yeah. And another contesting point was also Novo. We saw, I think it was Team Fandy down there against Team Gate.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
It's Team Gates love that location and will not deviate. So Team Fandy to go there and try and cause them some disruption.
I like that. They got the 2 early knocks on Team Gates. They were definitely in trouble, but it ended up all coming down to Fandy, and she tried to make it out of there, and unfortunately Kato caught her on the way out. We also saw Wildcard Gaming establishing key position, getting some great knocks onto Gangstars as they came in. Gangstars had their eye on one compound. They hit a little house there in between 2 different squads, and what happened was Wildcard saw that and won the gun battle.